What time zone? And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. There we go. We're back with day 2 of Act or Die. And I don't think there's much to talk about, really. Will Phantom give out more terrible advice? Probably. Will more people die? Most certainly. Wabam. Here we are.
Have you been doing well lately, Doctor?
Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Wowzers. Already? Isn't it a little early for that? Alright. What happened last time? Well, we are on a plate of rankwood that has detached. It's a plate used for filming. So I guess it's just like a giant studio plate. Not sure how big the plate is. I picture plates being pretty big, so this like feels like it's a pretty big place. But it's being operated by a film crew produced by Greta Stone. And it is actually a crew that worked together 5 years ago. Five years ago is when a tragedy struck and the actress Laura died. But it wasn't really an accident, it was actually kind of malicious. Actually, the people involved kind of did it on purpose, to be honest. But now they've all been called back and are making a new movie. And now they are dying. The movie is The Death of Lady Dupont, which was a script purchased by Greta at a script auction, which is a thing in Arknights. I don't know if it's a thing in real life. At least in a, like, professional, like, formalized sense. But the script also has seemingly some connection to the Crimson Troop. I think it's the Crimson Troop. The assassin group that Phantom was once a part of. And Phantom is here as an actor. He was at the auction and was recruited by Greta. He's on a mission to find the members of his troop, which I guess he thinks this is going to lead him to that. I guess maybe because of the script. I don't know. But people are dying. Drama is had, and everyone just found out that the plate is heading towards a catastrophe. Something that Greta knew and hid because she wanted to film it, although I don't know if that's actually her goal. I'm not sure what to think about Greta at this point. But that's pretty much what happened. An absurd morning. Absurd? No. Do not give your evaluation so hastily. This play is yet incomplete. Death shall grant the characters new life. I did think that maybe because we don't have really specific characters to lean on, in this event, that maybe I could just play with, like, Colombian characters? You know, that would make sense, right? Now I have to remember who's from Colombia. Mulesky is from Colombia. Jessica's from Colombia. Daria's from Colombia. All the Rhine Lab. Obviously, Rhine Lab is from Colombia, but I don't want to just make a Rhine Lab team. It's not a Rhine Lab event. Is Contrail from Colombia? Yes. Both jetpack people are from Colombia, huh? But, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just get into it. Mr. Dalton, You really got that extra scene for me. And it's a wire stunt to boot. How do you get director Kia K to agree so easily when he wouldn't budge when I asked him? I mean, it's interesting that seemingly all actors in Colombia do their own stunts. Maybe it makes sense. I mean, Arknights humans are stronger than normal humans, so maybe they all can just do their own stunts and it's okay, right? I still feel like you should probably train, right? Like, just because you're strong doesn't mean you're trained. Retta personally recruited me as lead actor. Steven wouldn't dare turn down my requests. This is my first time in a wire rig. I'll never forget this opportunity you gave me. Okay, I have to go prepare now. Sure, go on. Now you're acting all humble. Might have even fooled me if I didn't know when you were trying to get Steven to mess with my role behind my back. First time in a wire rig, huh? Good to hear. Rookies should know their places. Now, you'll be a good sport and take it right, even if you're left hanging for hours. Also, like, I don't know why they're all so upset about her being kind of arrogant. First of all, ironic. Second of all, it's the acting industry. Like, they should all just be used to it. Shelly, I just got another scene and I need the wire rig. Can you prepare it for me? No. I know you're passionate about acting, but how many extra scenes is this now? Do you even realize how much you screwed up the schedule I made for the entire crew? Do you even feel even an ounce of guilt, Princess? I'm not changing the entire schedules again just because of you. This crew doesn't revolve around you. I'm sorry, Shelly. I'm not trying to increase your workload, honest, but Mr. Dalton said the director signed off on it. Dalton did? Alright then. Thanks, Shelly. Interesting that they're keeping her silhouetted. He was just telling me how much you have no respect for your seniors in the field. No way he did this to you out of pure kindness. Wire rig, huh? Hello, Laura. You look wonderful today. Not many actors would be so happy to do an aerial stunt. Well, I've never been so excited. This scene will be the only one in the movie that belongs entirely to me. I want to knock it off out of the ballpark. Well, aren't you just adorable? Try not to get hurt, though, and if you're tired, you can always come find me in my room. I'll be there all night. Oh, Marion, how are you coming up? Have you come to touch up Michael's makeup? I have to go prepare. See you later. Yeah, see you in hell, bitch. Don't be so angry with me, Maria. I look away for one moment and you're flirting with another woman. Are you tired of me already? You've been making eyes on her all set too. If you like younger women that much, how about you let her do your makeup from now on? Please, baby, I'm serious about you. She can't be so upset. She stayed for 5 years. I won't talk to her from now on, I swear. You swear? I swear. I'm familiar with your vices by now, but this is an important time for your career. Don't screw it up and don't let me down. That lower girl is a loudmouth show-off. I'm sure she's up to something. You can do better. Keep your distance from her. No talking to her and no physical contact, even if she's dying right in front of you. That's none of your business. Got it? Babe? You can tell from Marion's eyes that she is not joking. Alright, I promise. So far, nothing shows that Laura's even, like, annoying. Not that if she was, it would be worth killing her over. It's still not my turn? What's going on? There's something on Mr. Dalton's end, and everyone's on set has gone over. No one's giving orders now. Look, we've even got that rookie still hanging up there. Oh, poor thing. You never struck me as the compassionate type. Trying to get in her bed? Hey, you know me. Let me go check on our poor little beauty. There's no reason she'd even need to be hanging out there. It's so malicious and negligent at the same time. I don't know how any of them got away with it. I really don't. I promised Mary this morning that I wouldn't approach her, but we had never said anything about her coming to me, right? Michael looks up and sees Laura's slender frame hanging in midair. Her dripping sweat has formed a small puddle on the floor. Good time zone, Oliak. Is that two different Holiaks, or did you change icons? Michael looks up, small puddle on the floor. She's tired, but her eyes remain strong, stinging Michael's frivolous heart. The wire rig is creaking. From experience, Michael can tell there is something wrong with it. However... all the better for me, yeah. She'll call for help when she realizes something's not right. I'll be her hero and have the perfect excuse for a little tete-a-tete, all without breaking my promise to Mari. I'll let her hang a little longer. Why aren't you calling for help, Laura? I'm right here, you know. It's been hours and the rope sounds increasingly off. Where did this equipment even come from? How could it be so ancient? Is that a crack around the belt? She has to have noticed that. And this dude was just watching this happen the whole time, huh? Dalton wanted to torture her. Whatever her name was. Shelly wanted to kill her. Michael wanted to sleep with her. were just kind of obsessed, huh? No, I have to tell her. I have to... He walks forward, stepping in the puddle of sweat. The heat of the limelight is causing Laura to become dehydrated. Insane. Michael will never understand her determination, her passion. It is as though she is denying everything he is. Ahem. Michael turns around to find Marion standing in the far corner, gazing at him, and the exhausted actress with cold eyes. Even if she's dying right in front of you, that's none of your business, got it? Michael strokes his orange ears and stops in his tracks. Well, it really is none of my business if she chooses to suffer. That's your first lesson, Laura. Never be too serious. Always put yourself first, even if you have to hurt others. That's the most important thing. Ironic. Put yourself first. Apparently he's been putting herself first and everyone hates her now. Creak, creak. The rope above his head is being stretched to its limit. You're still not gonna call for help? Michael? What's going on? What were you thinking about? I came with you to the makeup room for an explanation, not to watch you melt down. What did Moira mean when she said you wanted to leave the plate? Alright, that's what he was talking about. We have to get out of here, babe. This place is haunted. Announcement. Victoria's famous Crimson Troop is here in Daremont for 3 days. Don't miss it. The tickets are first come, first served. I'm always sort of like just, I don't know, mesmerized by this man's pink hair. It's so right. It's time. It's the first time you've left the castle and traveled so far with the troop, isn't it? Are you nervous? I'm fine, Master. The others are playing the leads. I'm just a very minor role, watching from the side in most of my scenes. When the true performance unfolds before your eyes, it is not easy to resist the urge to run. You've learned another lesson today, child. Police statement on the Daremont case. At this time, there is no evidence linking the case to the Crimson Troop, which passed through the area recently. The police have established a special task force to investigate. The Spire of Lupicarn, Litania. A splendid performance. You finally made a breakthrough after your first performance as the lead. The tiny black crystal on your neck is almost perfectly hidden, and the audience sees only the glamorous star, not the infected approaching death, one step at a time. Your performance is increasingly mature, and your song moves the passions. There is virtually no stiffness and no pretentiousness. Are you complimenting me? Of course. Are you not going? Or do you want to stay and take in the aftertaste of the stage? Aftertaste? You mean the taste of blood? Some detective, some downtrodden maverick detective out there has to have put together everywhere the Crimson Troop goes, someone dies. Excuse me, mister, let me through. I want to go home. I think the Crimson Troop can take her in. Take her in? She doesn't know where her home is gone. She doesn't know some of the people before her still have her family's blood on them. This is what we call a fateful encounter, is it not? As it was with you and the troop. Perhaps you should teach her yourself. Teach her how to blend in, how to embrace a new life, how to walk the path that you have. The show goes on, even once we've left the stage. You remember what I said? Yes, there is no drama like life. The aesthetics of destiny are never bound by any medium. Mister. What do you think, Lucian? Have you decided? You're in a position to make a choice now, aren't you? So they kidnap children and turn them into assassins. Are you awake? Lazy yawn? What's the matter? The bitterness of obsession, your emotions. A challenge to the palate. I would not say that, but your flashbacks have become increasingly frequent since we came to this place. That means we're getting closer to him. You noticed the strangeness of that coordinator. As did you. Unfortunately, she was visited by tragedy before I could extract any more clues. You used that camera assistant to break the news of the catastrophe. It was too much of a coincidence for that document to show up when it did, the way it did. When one's been in enough plays, it's not hard to realize that such an obvious clue is bound to be a trigger. Dalton's death was only the beginning. The plot devices have been set, and their development foreshadowed. The curtain has been raised, and it cannot be lowered again. The author will not appear until the story reaches its climax. Only then can I kill him. Be careful, Lucian. I know. What I mean is, Be careful of yourself. As I said, your emotions are filled with bitterness of obsession. It's not a dangerous thing. I apologize, Miss Christine. You will not have to endure for it long. I do wonder what they kill for. Like, I'm... They are called assassins, but I don't think they kill for money. I think they probably just kill because they're kind of crazy. You know?
Splendida giornata quest'oggi. So much negotiation, and we end up talked out your bait yet? Why the rush? The road to the afterlife is crowded enough. War. A word no one can see me.
I need another melee unit, I guess. What the? Villain's minion. Amazing. Attacks twice when inside the filming area and prioritizes heroes. I'm no hero.
So much negotiation and resentment.
Sow the mountains when summer leaves the white dew. Seed the plains when equinox paints russet hue. Whoever said a wheelchair couldn't get up onto a steel beam?
Ow.
Go ahead. Prepare the news of your death. Ever crossed your mind?
Hero's sidekick. Attacks have increased range when inside the filming area and prioritizes villains. Rebirth, apparently. Yeah, so now we have characters who get buffed in the film instead of hindered by the film.
Switching forms.
But they fight each other, which is fun.
Some tuttore, hate and resentment have no place, but in a burst of autumn wrath.
One thing I wanted to try out, we'll do it now, is that if I remove this, does it go back? It does, okay. So you can change the angle of the camera, but it'll go back to either the default, which is, in this case, upwards, or it will just go back to who is the next person powering it, which is, in our case, also facing upwards.
Some tuttore, why the rush? The road to the afterlife is crowded enough.
Oh, last night wasn't the first time Michael's come looking for you, was it? You have not been in Rankwood for long.
And you're certainly not the type who have meddled with something far outside of the scope of your duties. If he hadn't been pestering you. He came to me the day after Dalton died, and I took over the prop team. He wanted to leave without going through the normal process and without anyone noticing.
But why would you know how to do that?
Oh, without, like, telling Miss Stone or going through the contract cancellation and exit procedures. And he's the lead actor. Someone was bound to find out. And he'd have to pay for the contract penalty anyway. Unless there's something here skated more than paying the penalty. He said since the prop team had access to all the tools and was familiar with the structure of the plate, he wondered if I could. If you could think of a way. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could, but Michael's not done with his scenes yet. If he really got away and Miss Stone found out you helped him, she wouldn't let you off the hook easy. She could even end your career in Rankwood. What would her sister think?
My sister.
Oh, didn't you say the rest of your family was against you coming to Rankwood? And she's the only one who cheered you on. You have to make it, and not just to prove your family wrong.
I just don't want to disappoint my sister. I want her to be happy for me. So don't be mad, TP. Please?
I'm just mad you were hiding stuff from me. I know you'd never agree to Michael's demands. You just didn't know how to refuse him. I can help with that.
Alright, TB. I've never seen you so angry. Should we watch a movie together?
Sure.
You want to sneak off the plate with me? Yeah, babe. After spending some quality time here, we can go back and pack right up. Even if that prop girl really does find a way for you to circumvent the exit procedures, how do you expect to avoid the penalty for breaching your contract? Shooting isn't over yet, and you know Greta, she'll make you pay an arm and a leg. Who cares about some stupid contract when there's a killer on the loose? Dalton's dead, Shelly's dead. How long do you think it'll be before you and I are next? We both watched and did nothing when Laura died 5 years ago. Whether that killer is her lover, her dad, or some self-righteous vigilante, he's clearly after everyone who is involved. He wants us to repent and pay for what we did. I can take you away from this awful place, babe. We have our whole future ahead of us. I mean, there's escape pods now. You could use those. How romantic of you. But since when has your love been so deep? What? So even when you were winking at Melanie and flirting with Anna from stage design and Mila from logistics, you're telling me you were seriously thinking about spending the rest of your life with me? Does that matter right now? Of course it does. I'm not going, Michael. And neither are you. You know how hard it was to get you a lead role in one of Greta's films, and not just one, but 3 at once? Is she also his manager? I thought she just did costume. Play this right, and you'll be a bona fide Rankwood movie star. There'll be another chance with less murder. Look at me, Michael. Your costume in The Death of Lady Dupont is even more exquisite and eye-catching than Melanie is the title character. Your perfume, what you wore to Fashion Week, I bought all of it with my own money. Even those fake ears and tails that you let pass as a Volpo came from me. Holy crap. He's not a Volpo? Is that why his ears are a different color than his hair? What is he then? That's some big drama right there. The tabloids would eat it up. Without me, the public will find out that this Michael product suddenly doesn't seem so shiny anymore. If he has fake ears, unless they go over his ears, then he doesn't have ears. Which means that maybe he's like a Pythia. Usually they have pointy ears. Pointy human ears. But not necessarily, I guess. We've been together for 5 years. I gave up everything for you. I spent so much of my savings and I'm not getting any younger. I can't afford to wait for another chance. I love you, Michael, so don't let me down. Michael, I think she might be using you. You love me. You were glad when Melanie publicly revealed our relationship the day Dalton died, weren't you? To everyone else, I'm the troublemaking playboy, while you're the poor suffering girlfriend who gave everything only to get nothing in return but mockery. How very sympathetic, huh? And what part of that is a lie? You said it yourself, you're just investing in a product. Investment costs money. You'd have invested in Dalton instead, wouldn't you, if he hadn't become a hopeless drunk? You're just a parasite looking for a host, Marion. This is stupid, and I'm stupid too. Well, I guess that's it for us. You can stay if you want, I'm out of here. Oh, and here's a tip. If you're looking for your next investment, try that pretty boy Lucian. He caught the entire crew's attention his first time in front of a camera. He's the real deal. The moment you walk out of here, I'm reporting you to Greta. You cold-hearted lunatic. Are you not afraid of the killer? Or even just the catastrophe? And why should I be? 5 years ago, I didn't even know why Laura fell to her death until later. You're the one who watched and did nothing, not me. You were watching too, technically. You. What are you looking at, Michael? Rage overcomes the Volpo while like a tidal wave. He sees a fire axe in the corner of the makeup room and clenches his fists. Whoa, dude. Don't do anything crazy. I was gonna defend you. Don't go crazy now. Ah.
Oh, why would they go down into the power deck? Sure, there were mannequins all over the surface, but there had to have been a better plan, right, Molly?
I agree. There's nowhere to run from the Wraith in the tight spaces of a nomadic city's underground structure. In the end, it found them one by one and hung them from the ducts to await a slow death in the endless darkness.
I want to be the one of the cast's interviews, and they said it was inspired by the rituals of a certain Colombian wasteland tribes. Something about atonement and judgment. Well, how they got that was kind of dumb, but I did like the segment in the power deck. Why? Because it was all shot on location. Rumor has it that they ran out of cash and so they snuck into another film studio's plate and finished shooting there. Exciting, right? Wait, I've seen this movie in theaters. Why don't I remember any of these scenes? Because we're watching a copy of the original reel that was sent to the ratings agencies. They call it the Schneider Cut. How did you even get your hands on something like that? It's like a basic skill for a true horror fan. You're hiding something, TB. You know so much about this industry and all the ins and outs of Rankwood. How does a background painter get so much insider knowledge? How can you do this to me, Molly? I share my super secret treasure with you, hoping to make you happy, and all I get is an interrogation? Oh. Don't cry. I won't ask him, alright? Let's just focus on the movie. So stop looking away from the scene. Yeah, you noticed. Sorry, there's just been so much going on with the film crew lately. I'm a little nervous. Don't worry, I'm here for you, girl. Sure are. Feeling better now?
Now I'm suspicious. Just who is TB? Is she just a movie fan?
Yeah. Okay, listen up, Molly. No matter who I am, one thing's for sure, I'm your best friend on this crew. So if there's a killer on the loose, I'll protect you. And if work's not going well, we can do it together. We'll make our names as Rankwood's Golden Horror Duo, TP the spray painter and Moira the prop maker. And when we're really close, I'll take you to meet my family, although I don't know if you'll be scared or surprised.
Was that a kind of a weird flirt?
Well, then I'll introduce you to my sister too. We'll share stories of Rankwood while she peels us apples.
That's oddly specific.
She can peel one without breaking the skin in under half a minute. I know you'll love her.
That's a very strange thing to brag about.
Now that's an offer I can't refuse.
The old TV lights up both the darkened room and their faces. Terrifying sounds echo throughout, but take nothing away from their smiles. They cuddle up against one another, fighting their fear with a much more familiar fear, and dreaming of the future of their budding friendship. Fighting their fear with a much more familiar fear? Quotation? Are they roommates? It's a rare, quiet evening. I think they might be roommates. Oh no, the unlucky stagehand.
Why is it so dark? I should have asked Moira, she's always up here early. And she knows where all the switches are. Prop room isn't that far, is it? Have I been going in circles? Something doesn't seem right.
Am I hearing things? The sound of water dripping echoes through the empty set as though answering Houghton's question. But such a response serves to only increase her confusion and fear. She knows there are no water pipes above her. The sound she is hearing is definitely coming from nearby. Who's there? Is this another one of those stupid pranks you'll laugh at me over drinks after work for? Come out now. I won't hold it against you. Or don't tell me Moira isn't on it too. She's just a kid. How could you make her? Ouch. Houghton falls backwards to the ground. Only then does she realize that she's wearing a flashlight on her belt. Okay. But she barely has time to laugh at herself before she smells a strong, sweet scent accompanied by the tang of iron. Frightened, she stands up and turns on her flashlight. Are they both dead? That's a twist. Whoa. That's a twist. A breeze sways the ropes. Hanging down from them are two familiar and strangely quiet figures. The two lovers, Michael and Marion, subject of much of the crew's gossip, have met their deaths with their backs against each other. Through the faint light, Houghton sees their faces, their expressions, the way they sway through the air and the dancing specks of dust. It is indescribably eerie, and somehow sacred. She remembers what Teepee said when she joined one of her movie sessions. In the rituals of certain Colombian wasteland tribes, hanging represents both judgment of the dead and a warning for the living. Until the scorching sun cracks their corpses open, until all believe they deserve their punishment, until the ropes can no longer bear the weight of their sin. Thump. Help! Somebody, anybody! The unlucky stagehand runs outside. As she does, a thought flashes through her mind. What an absurd morning. Well, now I don't know how they're going to continue because they just lost one of their lead actors who played 3 roles.
Where's Texas?
At least Dalton was already done with his stuff. Good twist, though. Set it up that maybe he will just kill her for some reason. I thought maybe like, oh, maybe the scripts make people go crazy. But then both of them are dead, and he has the axe in himself too. She had scissors in her, and then who hung them up? So that's, yeah, interesting. I mean, the other two were definitely accidents. This one, though, this one's blatant murder, right? This one is like, okay, there is a murderer. The other two you could write off as accidents. Can't write this one off. Focus. The role I penned shall be engraved in memory.
Wait, you saw Michael and Marion's bodies too, right? Dude, don't remind me. I've been trying to forget. It was freaking terrifying. My hands are still shaking so much. I don't think I can hold the boom mic. You're still worried about work when there's an actual serial killer on set right now? So let's skedaddle? You wanna run? Did you already forget how Michael and Marion ended up like that? Michael even had his suitcase right under him. I heard he'd been packed and ready to go for quite a while. He even found himself a secret passage to leave through. How'd they get all this information all of a sudden? And he was still murdered right before he left the plate. No way that killer's gonna let any of us leave. It's just like the plot of Jack the Liber Ripper. The Liber Yipper? The Liber Rip? Like, okay, that's a terrible pun, first of all. This set is now his hunting ground, and any of us could very well be his prey. Maybe all should just leave together. Abner, how long has it been since you inspected your chest rig? Look, there's a bunch of loose screws on your mechanical arm. One little slip, and that camera's gonna be shards of glass all over the floor. This wasn't his accent, but we'll get it back eventually. If it breaks, it breaks. At least let me take a look at your camera lens then. I'm good. I'm your assistant now, you know. What was it? It's gone. Don't think I don't see what you're up to. You best stay away from me, kiddo. Dalton's death was no accident, right? The same goes for Shelley and Michael and Marion. There's no way the victims were chosen at random. All of them were involved in the incident 5 years ago. You should be working for one of those gossip rags, not behind the camera. Who said they were mutually exclusive? I think he sounded more like this, maybe. I don't know. Reporters make more dough, though. Anyway, Abner, my good man, you were there 5 years ago, right? Come on, you can tell me. Not like we're gonna be doing anything else today. What are you gonna do today? Your lead actor is dead. Miss Rutherford, you have the lines in this scene. Then do you suppose I could simply stay in my room, researching which exact foundation shade Lady Dupont should be wearing before she dies? That will be decided after we finish the climactic scene at the end, which are still... I'm sorry. Ah, so that god of yours is running tardy. But I'm in no mood to blame your god right now, my boy. My dear, rather. Were we not so far from the city, a major incident like this would have had the Rankwood police locking down the plate and crawling all over the set.
And naturally, the shooting would be suspended. Not to say that our current situation is any better. Stephen, I'm starting to worry that my investment in this project will come to nothing. How much do you or Greta know about what's transpired these past few days that I don't? Oh, there you two were. So where's the producer? Greta owes us an explanation. Whispers abound. Gossip permeates the set with not a single soul at work. Three homicides, 4 victims. The spat of murders has everyone overcome with fear, anger, confusion, and shock. The whole crew is on the verge of losing control. The clamor sends even her own heart into a mess. She hates the feeling. Greta struts right into the center of the studio and switches on the brightest bulb. The piercing light stuns everyone into silence, and everyone's attention fixes on her. She takes a deep breath. I have an announcement to make, everyone. I've never received any training as an actor, so you might have to come closer to hear me. You'll want to check your personal Rankwood financial terminals in a few minutes. I've instructed finance to send out everyone's remaining wages. Of course, the families of Dalton, Shelley, Michael, and Marion will also receive compensation for their losses, which I will handle personally later. Yes, Death of Lady Dupont has yet to conclude filming, and your contracts are still valid, so none of this should even be necessary. But I can count on one hand how many of you still are in the mood to work. Just like, yeah, you could just like put off filming for a bit. Huh. This is so unlike you, Greta. We've simply run into a few considerable hiccups, but this is no time to throw in the towel. Or has this experience made our producer lose confidence in the quality of the film? Well, the lead actor's dead. Throwing in the towel, you're overthinking it, darling. I've never once doubted my own judgment, much less considered abandoning a project. Then why are you? I'd like you to gather around for a story, everyone. Hey, kid. Me, Miss Stone? Take out your pen recorder, notebook, shorthand terminal, whatever, then sit down and listen. What do you mean? I've seen you sneaking around with those toys, and I don't appreciate it, but I feel free to record everything I'm about to say. Take it to Trimount Entertainment Weekly or Rankwood Coffee Time or Persons magazines. I don't care. As long as you get the story out, I won't hold you accountable either. See it as a reward or as punishment. It doesn't matter to me. I take it everyone here is familiar with the Rankwood Academy Awards. The Best Newcomer Award every year, countless students of film and television schools, as well as amateur film buffs, submit their entries in a bid to prove how much they understand their creations and the market. They craved for their work to be chosen because even the lowest award still implies their film is up to Rankwood standards, and a certain Phidia was no exception. She believed herself to be an auteur, with both the brains and the will to realize her dreams. She was certain she would one day stand on Rankwood's red carpet. even if she had to temporarily settle for a life in a cramped rental. Arknights. Arknights indeed. So true. Why is this game getting famous? Because it's good? Perhaps? Perhaps that's why? So, she waited for the very best story and the very best partners, and then she put together a crew and brought that story to life, submitted it. But this no-name newcomer craved success so much, not to mention the pressure of living up to the expectations of her companions. I want to try it? You should. As Arknight's #1 fan, you should. Everyone should play Arknights. As the voting period was ending, her obsession intensified, along with her doubts about the quality of the work she had submitted. She could not rationalize her strange thoughts. She begged both her friends and family, and raised a large sum, large for her then, at least, before knocking on the judge's doors. Why does this sound so familiar? Maybe because it's her story, I would assume. Pretty sure she's a Pythia. Or Phidia, I guess they're called. I think they changed the name at some point. Back in the day, we used to call them Pythias. Like my model? Thanks. Thanks. I did not make it. A good friend of mine did. Oops. On the very day of the Academy Awards, the committee publicized what the Phidia had done, and so, in doing so, proved Rankwood's professionalism and purity to the whole of Terra. And so she was disqualified. Her crew cut all ties with her, and she lost everything she had. Now I remember. It was so ironic because the Academy later revealed that the work had actually won by votes anyway, and the most recognized by the jury. After which he spent a decade exhausting every option to re-enter Rankwood, and slowly made some achievements of her own. Of course, she changed her name as well, to Greta Stone. Oh, okay. She changed her name. So, Melanie, now you know what an absolute fool I am. I went out of my way to provoke fate into playing a joke on me. Fortunately, that preposterous experience has taught me one thing: I should never doubt myself. I will always believe in my own judgment, and never give up on anything I attempt. Oh, you're more of a character than I took you for. Though, truth be told, I always thought that infallible persona of yours was just a front to intimidate others. Come on, Greta. So what's the sudden backstory for? You trying to win our sympathy? Dead people in here and a catastrophe out there, you'd think we'd still want to put our lives on the line just for you. After all that's happened. I know you still hold it against me, Abner. Ever since 5 years ago. Really thought you were real, Van Dad. Really did. How could I? I mean, I was awarded the best cinematography for that year thanks to those classic shots from that film. It's the highest honor any cinematographer could ever dream of, and you gave it to me. But what about after that? You hit the peak of your career, then fell into despair. Into 6 months, no one dared put you behind their cameras. You used to love your cameras so much, but now you treat them like empty potato chip bags. That's how she pronounces potato. Potato chip. Before you joined the crew for the death of Lady Dupont, you even lost your decade-old partner at the casino, yes? You hate that film for 5 years. You hate that shot that won you the reward, and you hate me for making you keep it. You bet I do. My camera captured that lower girl's fall, and when I saw how you reacted, I knew then and there that you had zero good intentions. I warned you again and again, but you insisted on keeping that shot in the final film cut. They kept the shot of Laura dying in the film? That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, it has happened in real life. It's crazy, though. I mean, it's crazy in real life. The more I think back on how the jury commented on the shot's realism and shock value, the more I want to laugh. Do people know it's her dying? Did they cover up the death somehow? The film is the art. Film is the art of creating dreams. Cameras are the eyes that see dreams and the hands that turn fantasy into reality. But you insulted that girl's memory. You insulted me. Now I hate this damn thing I'm holding and I hate my work. You get it now? If you really think so, then put it down, Abner. What? I'm sorry we've derailed. Now to get back on topic. After confirming you've received your compensation, any of you may leave this production at any time. Would you rather flee this dangerous plate? By all means, scared of the serial killer and wish to find somewhere to hide, go ahead. Feel like playing detective or whatever reason? Knock yourself out. Even if you're the murderer yourself and unwilling to give up your vengeance, you have my blessing. We've already filmed most of the death of Lady Dupont, with only a few climatic scenes to cover in the last 2 days of our schedule. Who knows? Maybe we can even finish it with those willing to stay. As for who will work the camera, I'll take Abner's place myself. Melanie, you do realize I can hardly find a last-minute stand-in for Lady Dupont herself, yes? You know I don't have a choice. I'm still counting on this film to beat Marianne. Even a catastrophe cloud can have a silver lining. Marianne retired from cinema years ago. What? I never understood why you're so obsessed with her. That's none of your business. Let me be frank, you won't get a damned special treatment as the female lead or insist on those rules of the film set you love so much once everyone else has evacuated. Huh. Stephen. I know. I'll fix the ending by tonight. I believe in my decision to invest in the story, darling, and I believe you've collected enough inspiration over the past few days. Catastrophe draws near, and death is right before our eyes. Surely your god loves material like that. Alright, thank you for your time, people, and I wish you well in your future endeavors. That's all from me. I wonder how many people are actually going to leave. I would leave. Personally. I'm no fool. I have great self-preservation instinct. I do wonder what Michael was. We didn't get an answer to that. Guess I'll look it up later. Later, just in case it does come back into it somehow. No spoilers. Promises of reunion. My favorite lead, you once left, but we shall be reunited once more.
Old Dalton's death and Shelley's freezing in the cold storage were no accidents. Now Michael and Marion are dead too, in such a horrible way. Who's behind all of this? Why are all the murders in the first place? And why are they so gruesome?
Well, I think most murder is probably pretty gruesome. I have a feeling that Michael saw this coming.
He looked a lot more serious than usual when we met the night before the murder. He must have figured out the real reason Dalton died, panicked and decided to get out of here, but... Now we'll never know what he was hiding. Maybe this has to do with all that accident 5 years ago. But what's really worried me is that the killer's not even trying to make them look like accidents anymore. What if they're trying to tell us that until the entire truth is brought to light, nobody's safe? Oh my gosh, sorry Molly. Did my babbling scare you? Oh, don't worry. It doesn't matter if there really is, like, a crazy killer running out there. I'll protect you no matter how many of them there are. No, that's not it, Detective TP. I was just thinking about what I can do on my end. Huh? Michael's dead now, but I mean, that doesn't mean that what he wanted me to do doesn't matter anymore. Killer might be planning on using the escaped land boats Miss Stone mentioned for their next move. So if we can figure out another way out, or put together something that'll get us to the ground, or even just find an exhaust vent, we might be able to get away from this maniac hiding in the shadows and save ourselves during the climax.
Well, who's gonna be last girl? Who has the most last girl energy? I feel like Molly's got last girl energy.
Oh, Molly. TP, you were the first person to really open up to me after I joined the crew. Even though I kept messing up and getting into trouble, you were always there, stand up for me. When Marion would forget my name, you were always ready to give her a proper reminder. You're always looking after me, comforting me, protecting me. So this time, I want to protect you too.
The LeBerry gives a gentle hug to her most precious friend in the whole crew.
Once this is all over, we're definitely going to have a movie marathon at your place, 24 hours, with non-stop screams paired with our favorite drinks and fried fin balls. I want to see what the house you grew up in is like, and meet that sister of yours you're always bragging about.
Sure. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt your little sorority huddle.
Oh wow, Miss Rutherford. What brings you to the prop room? Where's your assistant?
Didn't you receive Greta's notice on your terminals? She's already sent out compensation to everyone and officially disbanded the crew. Whether you're scared of the killer, worried about the catastrophe, or want to stay and finish the shoot, we're all free to do as we please. So naturally, it only took a blink of an eye for that spineless assistant of mine to run off to God knows where.
Do as we please. Don't tell me Miss Stone. No, none of the crew even care about the real reason all these murders are happening?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, and I don't see why you should either. Surely, the reasonable thing to do is escape and leave that to the police. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That would be the reasonable thing to do. Like, the only reason Melanie's staying is because she has to, like she said. Although she did call her assistant spineless, so I don't know.
Or, as Greta said, you can leave the truth to whoever feels like playing detective. So, why'd you come looking for us, ma'am? I'm only here for you, TP, the background painter. Oh, me? I admire Greta's gumption in wanting to film a catastrophe, and this is a fine opportunity for me as well, but films cannot rely solely on natural phenomena. I know you're more passionate about cinema than most, and you must have heard about how important this project is to me. So I implore you, from the bottom of my heart, to put your talent in ambience building and color matching to work, and paint the perfect backdrop for my grand finale. Oh, wow. I mean, I totally love to, but...
Grab the raincoat?
Go help her out, TP. Hey, Molly, what's with the raincoat? Are you really going exploring? Mm-hmm. Don't worry. I've been part of the prop team for ages now, and I know my way around the plate. I'll be fine. Remember what we were just talking about. This is something I need to do. Alright then. Once I'm done helping out with the backdrops, I'll come find you, promise.
Gosh, Molly really is final girl. Good times down, Luigi.
You may enter, Madam Stone. You noticed me before I even opened the door? Yes, I've been waiting for you. Your little investigation the other day forced me to reveal my plan of filming a real catastrophe to the whole crew. The timing couldn't have been worse. Abner and the rest of the crew were already unhappy with me, so I had to make some last-minute decisions. Big decisions. If I wanted to, I could sue you for damage incurred by your act of industrial sabotage, Lucian.
Could you, though? I feel like he could sue you for reckless endangerment or something. Workplace negligence? Most definitely.
But I'm not going to punish my cast just to vent or assert my authority, especially when such actions would only complicate the situation. And then more murders. The killer even stopped hiding their savagery, and everyone's losing their minds except you. You're the same as ever, cool as a cucumber, watching the crowd from a distance. I suppose I can thank this crisis for making it clear that you have other reasons to be here.
Honestly, you could probably assume he's the murderer.
But none of that's important right now.
You know, they've been filming this movie for however long, and then they bring in this new actor and everyone starts dying? Like, pretty suspicious.
None of that's important right now. The crew's been disbanded. You can leave or stay until the date specified in the contract. It's up to you. Your part in this is done anyway. Hardly. The moment you came to find me, you proved that my part in this is not yet done. I can't magic up another Lady Dupont, or bring the 3 Rockefeller brothers back to life. We're running out of both time and manpower, so I need to figure out the best use of our limited resources. Lucian, I'd like you to be the lead for the rest of the film.
Call the police already. They should, but they won't. In the middle of the night, the clackety-clack of typing echoes through the office. A despondent Perro curls up in front of his typewriter and glances at his latest manuscript and stubs a cigarette out on it. Ending, ending, ending. Lady DuPont needs to die in the ending. After she elopes with the second Rockefeller, they vanish from high society and live a aquatic life out in the mountain or the countryside. Rockefeller's life of affluence has left too much of a mark on him. He eventually shames Lady DuPont for an empty family name and leaves her. In despair, she slits her own throat. Too realistic. Do they really have to be punished after leaving their extravagant lives behind? This takes place back when Columbia had wealth at its highest virtue. Just trying to recreate it and let the audience judge for themselves. What if she died in the catastrophe? That's what I was thinking. Like an emotional scene where the second Rockefeller tries to save her from the catastrophe or something. The little cigarette burn grows, spreads, and swallows the whole paper up. Stephen takes a deep breath and blows away the ashes. In the end, Lady DuPont chooses none of the Rockefellers. She had only wanted to escape her false destiny through marriage. But underestimated just how toxic love can be. Brothers, unbeknownst to each other, each plot their own revenge, and Lady DuPont is killed by 3 different schemes at the same time. No, too lowbrow. Getting stuck in a quagmire of love even after not choosing anyone makes it sound like it's fate at work. But it's really just slapping in a trope of to patch up the gaps. The final shot of her body being pulverized into nothing would definitely be shocking, but the setup's just too crude. The DuPont family's false claims of being descended from a Victorian nobility are finally exposed to the public. No matter how deep the Rockefeller brothers' love for her is, they can't shield her from the punishment. The only time in her life that Lady DuPont is treated as true nobility is when the real DuPont family demands a death penalty for her. It's too neat. All tied up with a bow to show off how deep and meaningful it is, but lacks any of the madness or romance a film called The Death of Lady DuPont should have. Out of draft paper. Let me fetch some more from the filing cabinet. Did he just trip? Whoa. Stephen slips on a wad of paper that he threw to the ground earlier, falling flat on his back. Only now does he notice that the entire office is filled with discarded drafts. There is nowhere left for him to stand. How do you slip on paper? Paper... I don't feel like paper is notoriously slippery. He lies down amidst his aborted ideas, covering his face with his hands as he yells in frustration. Ain't no way. Get a Kubricking grip, Stephen K. You've been messing with the ending for 2 whole months now, and don't even have a shitty half-baked scene to show off for it. They turned Kubrick's name into an expletive? This is your baby. You wrote every damn line in the story. Don't tell me you don't even know what you want to write. Did you? She bought a draft, though. Maybe the draft didn't have lines in it. You need to suffer to make a classic, then this must be a goddamn masterpiece, right? You've got the time pressure of the shooting, the shock of hearing about filming a catastrophe, the fear of some maniac going around killing the crew. You got it all, man. What more could you want? God of inspiration, my ass. That was just some stupid excuse to get good off your back. Your god ain't coming. He lost his Falcon contact details. I actually don't know who Falk is. Peter Falk, I would assume, is this guy, was an actor. Oh, he was Columbo. Oh, okay. Who's there? Well, honestly, I don't care who you are. As long as you can help me figure out this ending.
Ah, the parade's here.
You're a sidekick, we're all that guy. Okay.
Che posto stupendo.
How do I want to do this?
I'm listening.
The hero and villain fight?
This will keep you quiet. Moving to designated location.
So much flowers imbibed. The lady in suit and tie dance with her blade.
Okay, this is awkward, but I'm the only one who knows how to handle the chaos I've created. Apple pie with yourself!
How do I make them fight? They're standing right next to each other. Is it just the camera? I'm trying to get that on.
I pass on your last words. No.
Maybe I didn't.
I know what nothing can
Well, that didn't make them. Oh, now they are. Maybe. Could you not do?
Found our prey.
I think they. Yeah, he's fighting. Hopefully that counts.
Don't think we can't hide your fear.
I knew you'd come divine judgment conditional! Your orders feel the bowstring tremble.
Don't keep your better at your step.
I just have
word
noticed
I've
that
not
camera there,
heard
actually.
in a long, long time. Need speed to succeed. Bad luck. You ran into me.
Double rebuff. Oh, we don't know how the first guy.
Your orders, my bow has 3 choices. And the enemy, my bow has 3 choices. And the enemy, 3 hardships.
Got a stun.
Some to tell flowers in battle. The lady in suit and tie dance with her blade.
I've come up with a few initial concepts for Lady Dupont's finale. You're an expert background painter and quite versatile too. I need you to help me put together the best possible scene. Here are a few materials I cobbled together. Have a look.
Wow. How did you get all these art references and reference shots? Tint and ambiance and design philosophy. You even labeled all the details of the buildings and how the lighting would reflect of different materials. How long have you been doing research for this scene, ma'am?
A few years at this point. Time is about the only thing I have these days. It takes a lot more than reading the words off a script to make an excellent film.
Director K's not even done fixing up the script yet, and you've already come up with so many ideas for the ending.
The lad's certainly taking his sweet time with it, yes. I believe that both as the leading lady of the death of Lady Dupont, and its investor, I have an obligation to take responsibility for this film. As I said before, the revival of my career in Rankwood will begin once Lady Dupont gets a good proper death.
The Lupercorn Holiday, the portrait of Aaron Dawes, the Bridges of Country March. These mood reference shots are all taken from the film starring Marion Blake, aren't they?
Do you like her work? She retired long before you were born.
I mean, yeah, like my dad really loves her films. Besides, the classics are classics for a reason, right?
Both her acting chops and her taste in projects were impeccable.
It's kind of surprising to hear you say that. I could have sworn you hated her. Everyone's been comparing you guys for years.
Indeed, all those years. Wait a second. She's Jessica Blake? Was I supposed to have known that already? I do remember her being... Now I remember her being a former actor or something. Did she go by a different name in Lone Trail? What they call her? Yeah, Marion Blake. Which doesn't actually pop up. But Yara Wilson. That, yeah, she goes by a different name. Yeah, she was Yara Wilson in Lone Trail. So no, I was not supposed to recognize her. I don't think they talked about her real name in Lone Trail. I mean, they might have mentioned it offhandedly or something. They did mention that she was like an actor or model or... Well, probably an actor now. Congratulations on winning your 8th Best Actress award, Miss Blake. Ever since you started your career, you've been at least nominated for an award practically every year. The industry sees you as an insurmountable mountain for such new talent to try and climb. Are there any particular up-and-comers you think we should keep an eye on? Luckily, I do remember her voice.
I appreciate this flattery, but I'm hardly an insurmountable mountain. I'm still climbing my way up myself. There are always plenty of new faces streaming into Rankwood, brimming with talent, and it's hard for me to pick any specific name.
How about Melanie Rutherford?
I tip my hat to you, Miss Blake. Today I received the reward of Best Supporting Actress 2 years slower than it took you. I've seen all your films. As our reporter friend here said, you really are a natural-born performer, the tallest peak in Rankwood, but only for now. Give me some time and I will overcome you. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, Melanie and Marianne are really duking it out on this scene. Time to get out of the popcorn. The fact that she also goes by Yara, though, implies that, like, are actors in Colombia... Is there some kind of tradition where actors in Colombia need to have their names start with the letter M? Because there's a lot of them, apparently. They've been rivals for a while now, haven't they? It's like they're always racing to get the most rewards. So why they agree to be in the same project? Josh, did you forget everything they taught you when you joined the crew, you rude little shit? Go apologize to Miss Rutherford right now. Oh, I'm really sorry.
Let's not be too harsh on the fresh meat, Melanie.
Our films are built upon rules. You've been in the industry longer than I have, Miss Blake. You must have experienced why they're so important firsthand. Courtesy towards the leading lady is something we've had to fight for, role by role, film by film. It's what allowed me, a young girl from the middle of nowhere, to stand in front of you today. And without rules, there will be no standards. How else would we know which of us is the greatest film actress of all time? Which reminds me, I still haven't congratulated you for that Best Actress award that you got at Latania's Film Spire Festival a few days ago. That was just a small award ceremony. Meanwhile, your latest film swept every single major award in Rankwood again. I still haven't truly overcome you, Miss Blake. I would like to thank everyone for coming to this press conference regarding the eternally shining star. We appreciate your care and concern during this difficult time. The rumors are true. Our film crew really did run into a catastrophe during our shoot. I was injured and am still recovering now. Thankfully, we didn't return empty-handed. We managed to hold on to some of our precious footage. But I believe this is heaven working in mysterious ways. It's trying to tell me that it's time for me to bid farewell to the silver screen. As both the lead actress of Eternal Shining Star and its investor, I hereby am announcing that neither the film nor my performance will be submitted for nomination for any rewards. It will remain as one last gift from Marin Blake to her cinephile friends, and nothing more. I won't be leaving Rankwood immediately, of course. Just moving into more of a behind-the-scenes role for now. But I doubt I'll be content for that long. I'm always eager to seek new opportunities, start a new chapter of my life as Yara Booker Wilson. And then somehow she became a government Black Ops secret agent. Oh, you're here too, Miss Rutherford. Could I request a quick interview? Your latest film will be releasing soon, and most were predicting that only you and Miss Blake would be running in for this year's Best Actress at the Rankwood Awards. So, how do you feel about the announcement of her sudden retirement and the withdrawal of her new movie from the nominations? Does this mean I won? After Miss Blake retired from acting, you got all the roles as brand spokeswoman and lead actress, and even got invited to be on the judging panels for the big film festivals. But not long after, you suddenly left it all behind because of some personal reasons, and then you came back last time. Nothing was the same anymore. Her retirement gave me quite the shock. But I still believed I had won fairly through my own talent. I believed that I, too, could become an insurmountable mountain and a legend of the silver screen, one that outshone even her. But in the end, Rankwood's Best Actress, Melanie Rutherford, let it all go to her head and swayed by the endless praise of the critics, the flattery of the sponsors, and the applause of the audience. Wealth and fame, alcohol, scandal had lived an indecent life for those few years. Yeah, tell me about it. Most tabloids have like zero respect for your privacy. Once I met you in person, I could tell
Maybe you've made a few mistakes here and there, but your love for acting is the real deal.
No need to console me, little Liberry. No one's more acutely aware of my failings than I am. Marianne could switch from a hardened soldier to a poor servant girl and back again at the drop of a hat. A single dress rehearsal was all she needed to figure out the ideal lighting and positions. But if I were to ever take a single day off, spend 1 hour less on studying the script, or arrive at the rehearsal 15 minutes late, my performance would fall through the gutter. A mere 2 years of living in indulgence was all it took for me to lose the skills I once picked up with ease. I disappointed both the directors and the fans. I never realized just how many unending waves of new talent were looking up to me. I never even realized what the position in entertainment Marianne had fought so hard to defend actually meant. I thought I could afford to be like her, and enjoy the double delights of cinema and life. I thought there'd be no harm in having a little fun after all those chasing and competing. It was only then that I finally realized Marion Blake was a truly infuriating genius in every sense of the term. With her final film, and that chance catastrophe, Marianne received a revelation to retire from cinema, and all I could do was sigh. Even a noble Mother Nature was on her side.
Well, but now that you're the lead actress again, you've got a chance to win back everyone's trust. I mean, you even got the film alongside a catastrophe too.
You're right. I spent more than a decade piecing my self-confidence and acting skills back together. I could very well be a single step away from the top again. Greta's offer to give me the part of Lady Dupont couldn't have come at a better time, and now even her grand ambitions had left me a special little gift. Come to think of it, the lady is a rather fitting role for me. Surely she knows her brother is lying to her. Surely she has doubted her last name once or twice. But no, she unconsciously clings to her glamorous life, refusing to accept the mediocrity of her birth. She prays desperately that she is special, that she is talented. I wonder, what sort of ending will she face amidst the storm?
Miss Rutherford.
Yes.
We should watch some horror flicks together.
Horror flicks?
If you want to climb your way back to the top, you can't limit yourself to copying Miss Blake, right? Like, you've always had pretty different styles of acting. We're gonna put together a finale more powerful than the one in Lupercarn Holiday, and Lady Dupont's name will go down in cinema history.
Ha, very well then.
Also, I'm sure you know what happened between you and Miss Blake better than I do, but I bet she meant it when she said you surpassed Marion Blake one day. She might still think so, even now.
You might be right. Gosh, like, the chances aren't great that she's gonna survive this, though. Hopefully she will. Are you real, or just a figment of my imagination? Am I really being visited by the god of inspiration? Don't tell me I've gone crazy from working on this script. Madness can transform ink on the page into sweet fruit. or allow a stiff mind to wander freely across the wilderness of time and space. You cower in the corner of a dark room, forced to chase a deadline even after witnessing a string of brutal murders. Yet, all your soul-searching and brain-racking, you have come up with only 3 endings for Lady Dupont. Hardly the work of a madman, no. I promised Greta I'd have an ending that impressed everyone by tonight. The only people left are those insane enough to risk their lives for cinema, and they're waiting for me. But they bet on the wrong man. The realm of art only accepts natural-born geniuses, not some dried-up piece of crap slaving away at a typewriter. The death of Lady Dupont. You already have the most captivating ending for this story, just from its title. While the shocking brilliance of her death will certainly fade after the film is copied reel after reel. Rank Wood, after all, is a factory hawking such fantasies all across Terra, is it not? You are a nation of liars, fooling even yourself. Even the Colombian Dream was born from a promotional film for the Pioneer Project, after all. Just to be clear, I care neither for political metaphors nor reality, only that you, having a deeply misunderstood the essence of performance. Drama can change lives, but it would never use such a mechanical way. But by setting death as Lady Dupont's ending, you show you still possess an intuition for drama. Intuition? No. When I was a student, I hated dragging death into the stories I wrote. I thought of it as a cheap trick, only good for plugging holes in the plot or squeezing the right emotions out of the audience. Actually, talented writers could give a film a proper climax without it. Then what changed? A shocking memory, or perhaps some phantom pain you cannot recall? I had the same problem 5 years ago when I was working with Greta on another project. She didn't mince words. She told me the back half of the script was too dull and audiences would be falling asleep. If I didn't change it, it'd bomb at the box office. So I shut myself in my office just like I do now, pushing my mind to the brink of collapse but getting nothing out of it. And then Laura fell and died. An opportunity straight from heaven, the perfect plot device. Just as Greta expected, the rest of the film was panned by critics, but that scene alone became an overnight sensation to the point that you started to see death as more than a cheap trick, rather as the most sincere form of expression brimming with artistry. Yeah. Seeing how you had that sudden realization, all that has happened on this plate should provide you with nourishment. A death while shooting, a death hallucination, bodies hanging from beams. With all this to inspire you, why not write more into your story and let the same drama be performed both on and off screen? Because they're still not good enough. then what about turning away from those who have already exhausted their possibilities? What do you mean? Who else in your story can ignite a spark in Lady Dupin's bosom? Who is distant enough from all the grudges and resentments, yet still able to bring about the most drama, as well as the best of performances? The messenger. It's the messenger who brought the bad news. He's the very trigger for Lady Dupin's new fate. Vengeance or repentance, Lady Dupin has a new choice to make, and at the same time, the messenger must contend with the consequences of intervening in another's destiny. This is it. This is the ending I wanted. Lucian, yes. I'll have Lucian be the star of the final scene. You want me to become the lead actor? That's right. I can't say I understand you, but I have a feeling that even if I hadn't approached you, you would have come to me anyway. You have the most potential of any actor I've ever seen. The messenger doesn't have too much screen time, but your performance added a complex and delicate core to a role that was originally a nothing burger. And I'm sure that whatever your goal here is, you won't be leaving before the shoot ends. So, then why do you not do me a favor and help me out with this? I'll give you the time to think it over, of course. So far, it's just a thought I had, and I haven't spoken to Steven about it. He promised me the finished script by tonight, but honestly, I'm not optimistic. If only that god of his knocked on his door. They are on the same wavelength. I see. Changing the focus to the messenger was the only way to steer the plot towards brilliance. I can already imagine the shock on everyone's faces when they read the new ending. Well, once I'm done with it. But I see you've added a lot of direction notes for his lines. Most of them are quite detailed. While you were giving me advice on my writing just now, you mentioned the quirks of Lucian's performances and where he likes to put pauses in dialogue. You even told me which angle suits him best for close-ups to capture his most subtle expressions, and what kind of lighting best highlights his unique character. It's like you've known him for a long, long time, maybe even taught him. But how do you know all these things about Lucian? The playwright. You called for me, troop leader? Come with me, playwright. The final act is underway, and as always, the entirety of the audience is enraptured by the performance on stage. It's rare for the White Flower to return to the stage. Will you not toast to air once the performance is over? What of Blood, Diamond, and Abyss? They are merely supporting roles this time. All their scenes have already concluded. The rotting stage mechanism has spread the blood of the magician's assistant, and the chosen lucky audience member all over the stage. Their corpses have been stuffed into prop boxes set afloat on the river to disappear forevermore. The magician herself completes her final show as she treads on a stage lit slick with blood. The Blood Diamond and Abyss should have chiseled their way out of the boxes by now and be on their way back to the stage for certain for the curtain call alongside White Flower as a magician. Should they now? And here I was thinking those two children have turned performance into reality, disappearing forevermore. As I recall, this was a new scene you had added half a year ago. While revising the script, during a night you claimed to have had a revelation. Leader, come with me, playwright. The show is far from over. He is my favorite leading man. He once left me, but in the end, we shall be reunited.
Take a breather and tally up your losses. Nothing worth celebrating here.
Murder in
You
the
might be
film
dead in a
studio.
second or two.
Reward the monologue, or rewind even the monologue. She dances, regardless of her ultimate fate. Her soul has experienced 100,000 lives. More people have died compared to the Master's chapters, yeah. That's true. Turns out, filmmaking is more deadly than religious, like, revelation. Suddenly, a slightly tonal shift. A petite Zalek gropes around in the darkness as she traverses the pitch-black plate layer. Oh, I guess not. She's a Zalek, huh? Not my first thought, but I guess her ears are pretty small. Based on the background, I thought we were gonna like see some kind of crazy hacker or something. Like, what is this gonna mean? But I guess it's just in the bowels of the plate. I see how it is. Structure and systems look complex, but once you figure out the theory behind it, even a prop maker can operate it. For example, here, adjust its direction first. At a time, pull down the lever, open the gate, and done. Good, just like I thought. This way, I'll have nothing to worry about even if something unexpected happens. Now there's just one last thing to do. Need to go find her. I'm sure you have your reservations, Lucian. The plate's in a crisis and everybody's in danger. I wouldn't trust a cold-hearted producer who is demanding the shoot to go on either.
We do not have to trust each other.
You're not wrong. In my 20 years in Rankwood, I've never trusted a single person I've worked with. I trust only in my own judgment. I invited Melanie right when she most needed an opportunity. I saw right away at that auction that you were an acting genius, and I was sure Abner would join the crew even though he hates my guts. I even still believe that Laura's death 5 years ago was the only way to save that movie.
You had nothing to do with the accident, but you still made use of her death.
She was a talented rookie, eager, hardworking, and full of passion for cinema. It's just that sometimes that enthusiasm got to her head and made her break a few rules. Steven was still green back then, and the shoot wasn't going as planned. Halfway through the project, I knew that film would burn through all my assets and leave my reputation in tatters. I needed an external factor to help me solve the crisis.
Laura's death.
Using the media to hype up the accident would be too predictable. Those busybodies would just sigh and forget all about it the moment they moved on. So I used a lot of money to squash the police investigation and media's attention, along with a healthy amount of hush money to Laura's family. Well, that explains that. I got the editor to keep the footage of the fall that Abner captured on camera and turned it into this climax of the film. Even now, there are some people who still think she's just an acting genius who retired early.
You covered up her death.
I immortalized her in film.
Someone will eventually notice what you did.
How they haven't already is surprising. Every year, on the day of her sacrifice, I go visit her. 5 years, and I'm the only one who brings her flowers to her grave.
Do you not feel guilt?
I'm certainly to blame for it, but now is not the time for repentance. Right now, there's only one thing on my mind, finishing this film. Once the death of Lady Dupont is screening, the murders on set are bound to get the media's attention. I'll take that chance to officially release the truth behind Laura's death. When that time comes, there will be a lot more people grieving for her, and that's when I will bear the blame. But like... surely that would ruin your career. Doesn't that defeat the purpose? I hope you realize I didn't confess all that to you on a whim.
You want to use the truth to make a deal.
When I first met you, I thought it was fate throwing me a bone, dropping a big present on my lap before shooting started. But it was your behavior after you joined the crew that proved to me you are no ordinary man. Dalton died right in front of you, but you kept your cool. You even looked forward to future filming. After you discovered my plans to film a catastrophe, you took the perfect opportunity to leak those plans into the camera assistant most likely to spill them. And now, with the crew officially dismissed, almost everyone is feeling desperate, except you. You were waiting in your room for me to visit, as if you're no stranger to sudden death and tragedy. Who are you exactly, and why did you agree to join my film crew?
I was enticed by your script. No more, no less.
Sure. The way things are now, interrogating you about your history isn't going to help my shoot. But I was hoping you would repay my honesty in kind. I still believe in my vision, Lucian. No matter what I find out about you, no matter how suspicious, I will never withdraw my invitation for you to be my male lead. But if you really can't explain why you're here, if you got your sights on something way over my head, if you think Laura's death and everything it caused 5 years down the line are the real story being filmed on this plate, and you're here for that, then I, Greta Stone, would like to invite you again. Please be our next leading man, Lucian.
If that is what you wish, then it is mine as well, Madam Stone.
Greta sent out compensation to everyone and officially disbanded the crew. Whether you're scared of the killer, worried about the catastrophe, or want to stay and finish the shoot, we're all free to do as we please. Finish the shoot? Greta is still thinking about her movie right now. She must have noticed the connection between the murders of the crew and the one 5 years ago, so she's doing it on purpose. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, and I don't see why you should either. Or as Greta said, you can leave the truth to whoever feels like playing detective. The truth? The cast and crew both mercilessly bully newcomers. The producer even massaged massaged a tragic and fatal fall into a scene that straddles the line between truth and lie. If you will not repent for what happened 5 years ago, nor make your deeds known to the public, do you believe yourself innocent, Greta? Have you forgotten how you edited Laura into the film? Also, she could die over and over again with every showing? You must pay the price. A bulge on the bed is faintly outlined by the dim night light. The person beneath the blanket is fast asleep, ignorant of the judgment about to fall upon her. Fast asleep, that desecrator of the dead, forgetter of sins, ignorer of warnings. How could Greta sleep so soundly? Someone quietly creeps closer to the bed, pulling a razor-sharp dagger out of a sleeve. Slender fingers grip its hilt tightly, lifting the terrifying weapon high into the air. I don't even want to hear your confession. I don't even want to hear your screams. I just go away already. You must pay. This feeling, it's not right. The blanket is lifted up. There is nobody under it aside from a black shadow. A shadow? How can a shadow exist on its own? The intruder steps back a bit as the shadow slowly condenses into a familiar shape. Miss Christine. A trap. Okay, before they show, if they're going to show it. I had a thought when Molly was underground. What if Molly's the killer? She's always talking about her sister, who's like a famous actress. But what if her sister was Laura? Plus, she was the prop intern who could have replaced the knife. She's just an intern, so she's new to like the filming industry, so it's something that she could have been like thinking about for the years, the 5 years, and is like, I'm gonna like get a job as an intern now and like try and like get revenge on this. Plus, they do say she is young, so she might just have been too young until now. Anyway. So, we finally meet. Plus, she does know Miss Christine, so. I welcome you, my elusive guest. Is it really you? That's why I had to call it quick.
Moira, the most dedicated member of the crew, was actually a 3-time murderer. It should have been 4. When did you find out, Lucian? The first to notice your abnormal behavior was Miss Christine, not me. In that very first scene after I joined the cast, she intruded upon the shoot. She rarely approaches anyone other than me, but she approached you. Since then, she has made contact with you many times. TP believes she decided to accompany you as you watched movies in the prop room because she likes the both of you. That is only half correct. Miss Christine has only ever interested in you. Look, even now, even as you hold that dreadful dagger, she still stands by your side.
I don't like that face Christine makes.
Ridiculous. Don't tell me that's your only reason to suspect me just because this mysterious creature's fond of me. Or maybe she only does what you tell her to. She is your pet after all.
Moira looks into Miss Christine's deep blue eyes. The very next moment, she no longer has conscious control over herself. Joy, sorrow, anger, all sorts of emotions roil through her heart before finally settling into a blank void, one that terrifies anyone looking upon it.
You continue to misunderstand her. As I have explained before, none may interfere with her intentions and actions. They do not merely mean that she is free-spirited by nature, but rather, nobody has the ability to interfere with her. It is she who possesses the ability to influence others.
The mysterious black creature nonchalantly licks her paws. Moira finds it difficult to reconcile that Miss Christine she sees now with the enormous pressure she felt earlier.
Miss Christine is extremely sensitive to emotions. No carefully buried pain or flicker of malice escapes her notice. Over countless years, she has wandered across all of Terra, tasting the entire spectrum of feeling. Rather than any particular flavor, she prefers a blend, and her judgment is derived from instinct rather than logic. It does not err.
What a freak. Miss Christine, kind of a freak. My opinion of her has really changed.
Solving a murder without even discovering a motive, should I congratulate you? Vengeance.
For who?
For that ghost entangled in the minds of the majority of the crew. Madam Stone, the one who stands before you now, is a relative of that rookie actress Laura, who fell to her death 5 years ago. One who loved her dearly, her little sister.
Wait, she is? Or did I read that wrong? Did I miss a punctuation mark? I might have missed a punctuation mark.
Reap not what's sown by malice.
Yeah, I missed the punctuation. There was a comma after Madam Stone. He was talking to Greta. Yeah, so Moira is of course the little sister of Laura. As I expected.
Che posto stupendo.
I'm listening. I know what you can't hide your fear.
Soon to tell flowers in bites. The ladies who can tie dance with her blade.
I know what to do. Don't order me around.
No one can see me.
Okay, this is all.
Don't leave bloodstains. They're hard to clean.
Nimble mannequin cannot be blocked. Damages your units along its path. Stops and gains 60% fragility when in filming area.
I knew you'd come
This camera's in an awkward spot. I guess we could face it upwards though.
Oh, I should try adding a jet
No, we have to
engine next
face it.
time.
Right, okay, never mind.
Roar.
It's in an
A
awkward
word
spot.
I've not heard in a long, long time. If you'll go the mountains,
Flowers in bite. The ladies who can tie dance with her blade. They only remember my blade. They only remember you stepped into my domain.
traditional.
I want it to face upwards, but I can't have it do that.
oh, I should try adding a jet engine next time.
Facing
Go
sideways
ahead.
is kind of useless to us, huh?
Target disarmed.
Mission accomplished.
So, out of all the choices Miss Stone gave us after disbanding the crew, you chose to play detective, Lucian. No need to bluff. I know you're not afraid of exposing me, or of me exposing you. If it would let more people know the truth behind Laura's death and the conduct of the film crew, you would have gladly exposed yourself given the right opportunity. Not right now. It's over, Moira. You hid yourself well. A simple identity and an innocent facade were the ideal cover for you. During nearly all of the murders, you were the teepee that painter trusts you deeply, and was always happy to provide you an alibi. She even wanted to be your roommate, even after you left your private meeting partway through. Looking back, every accident has involved you in some way. Dalton's death was caused by a prop knife being switched, which led to the former prop master being dismissed. You naturally overtook his work, which afforded you even greater opportunities for crime. As for the second accident,
The silhouette Shelly saw was probably just Moira.
when Shelley walked into cold storage. No, she had intended to kill her before that, but failed. Do you remember how Shelley had a hallucination and interrupted the shoot Madame Stone? While she was rooted in place, unable to move, a heavy container fell from above.
Oh yeah, that part. I forgot about that. Moira was holding the rope though, that's true.
You saved her. Moira single-handedly held onto the rope, preventing the two of you from being harmed. But it was not out of the kindness of her heart. At the time, everyone was focused on Shelley's antics. Very few people noticed the dangling container. Let alone rush to the other end of the rope. Right, only the one who tampered with the rope in the first place could have reacted that quickly. Failed attempt revealed to all that Shelley suffered from hallucinations, which you took advantage of. I knew her deepest nightmares. She mistook me for my sister Laura and babbled all of her sinful secrets to me. But even to the very end, she never repented. Instead, she just began to blame Laura for crossing the line. She had to die. As for Mary and Michael only ever treated me as an innocent little errand girl. He never figured out that I was after his life, even entrusting me with the important matter of sneaking out of the plate. And Marion, she never felt the slightest guilt over what happened 5 years ago. She had to die. Escape. Nobody can escape. Do you know just how much suffering and malice my sister had to endure? And all she ever talked about was how much experience she was getting, and how happy she was to be part of the cast. Whenever I was worried I wouldn't make it as a prop master, whenever I silently shed tears as the crew ostracized me, she would use herself as an example to comfort me, to encourage me. But it was only after she died that I learned what experience you gave her really was. How dare you look at me like that, Greta? Are you doubting what I just said? Surely you haven't forgotten how you bribed the police and the media and suppressed the news of Laura's death. You even turned her accident into a mockery of the truth in a movie. How could she possibly rest in peace after that? No, Moira. Madame Stone has not forgotten her deeds. Rather, she is doubting your identity. My identity? A prop maker, an unremarkable Zalek, avenger of crimes unanswered. Laura had no younger sister. Oh, snap. She was never part of your life. What are you saying? What kind of interrogation is this? "5 years ago, after the accident, I gave Laura's family compensation. I even hired people to scour her entire family history and their circumstances, all so I could guarantee that none of them would leak the truth, not even her most distant relatives. After Lucian told me the truth he had deduced, I was still in disbelief, so I pulled out the list of Laura's family members and checked again. I regret to inform you, there was no Moira on that list." Huh? You're lying. I can explain everything that's happened to you, but you will need time to accept it. Oh, is this like, okay, is this like the Crimson Troop? Is she like brainwashed by the Crimson Troop to think she's Laura's little sister in order to be the perfect actor assassin? So put down the dagger, Moira. It should not be yours. Put it down? It's far too late for that. You just disappear? What was that? What's with the sudden earthquake? Somebody save me! Did the plate hit something? If I'd known this was coming, I would have skedaddled out of this place already. What the hell's going on here? Crew members stream out of their rooms into the crowded corridor, none with the slightest idea what was happening. Lucian's shadow passes by, a bevy of curses, complaints, laments, and prayers before arriving at the end of the corridor. He looks out the window. Hey guys, doesn't it feel like the plate is speeding up? Moira locks the door. She does not know if the man named Lucian will catch up to her or how long it would take. The room shakes violently, letting her know that the sabotage she performed had taken effect. The cockpit is destroyed, the engine's output is locked to its highest setting, and its route is set. The studio plate speeds up as it approaches the nearby catastrophe and shows no signs of stopping.
In a few hours, they will find themselves with the misfortune of facing a storm. No, a trial. The vast majority of this cast and crew had to answer for the accident 5 years ago. For the death of her sister. Laura had no younger sister. She was never part of your life.
What was he talking about?
Moira mumbles to herself incessantly. She sifts through the piles of junk in the prop room and finds an old VCR. She sets it up and pulls out a videotape from one of her inner pockets. A videotape she has watched countless times. She presses down on the play button. The smile of a young woman appears on the screen.
Laura, my sister, you're real. Tell me you're real. I know whenever you laughed, there was a dimple in only your left cheek. You had big eyes with light green irises that were always so gentle when you looked at me. You could peel an entire apple without breaking its skin in 30 seconds, which is still a really strange thing to brag about. Whenever you're happy, you'd whistle a big, strong, sweet. You'd use arts to make small ice crystals to use as hair clips. You told me about your life in Rankwood, how your very first role got edited down to only 3 seconds of screen time in the final cut. You told me about how much you struggled just to get a few more scenes while a few assholes talked to you behind your back. Most of the crew still looked after you. You told me how, even though you came from a small town where you couldn't even buy a VCR, even though you had to learn a lot of things from scratch, even though opportunities are easy for others to get as far out of reach for us, we still couldn't be discouraged. Never mentioned how much bullying you had to suffer through, how much pain you endured. It would go on and on about how beautiful the sunrise in Rankwood was, looking towards the future with such firm eyes. You also had times when you were sad, even though you only ever mentioned how homesick you felt at night, and all was quiet, and the only ones kept you company were the twin moons low in the sky. You told me how alike we were, and how you had my back and would support me forever, ever since we were little.
Moira suddenly stops. She shakes her head like mad, trying to force more details out of her memory, but she can say no more. She finds her memories of Laura have an unusually distinct cutoff point. They had never run through the grass together, hand in hand. They had never fallen asleep in each other's arms as their parents sang to them. As she trawls further back through her memories, every image to do with her sister is simply blank. The videotape ends. The television screen goes dark. Moira sees her own face reflected in it. Tears silently stream down her cheek. You were never a part of Laura's life. Laura was never a part of yours. But if that's really true, what do you even have left, Moira? Who are you? Have teepee. Unlucky stagehand. Ah. First the serial murders, now this morning's mysterious explosion. What the hell's going on here? Why is the wind so strong? Oh, right, according to the schedule, today is the day we're filming the catastrophe. Out in the stands in the street of the exterior set, thanks to the nearby storm, the once colorful background walls are covered in a layer of dust. He never expected to experience so many twists and turns after joining the film crew. He's only ever thought about making movies. As for actually being in one, can't stand the idea of it. That's the catastrophe Miss Stone wanted to film. Earlier, the catastrophe everyone was making such a fuss about had simply been a faint gray dot out in the wastes. Now it has condensed into a storm that blots out the sky, a storm that refuses to allow onlookers to tear their gaze away from it. Small-scale spirals of wind formed from oranginium dust circle around the plate, visible to the naked eye. I gotta say, it is a spectacular sight. If you saw a scene like this in a movie theater, please, Para bless us. I've had such bad luck. Please let us just finish filming safely. No, who cares about the shoot? A safe return to Central Rankwood is good enough for me, please. The plate responds to Houghton's prayer with an even more unusual than earlier sound and shaking. Whoa, what the Hitchcock was that? Houghton has wondered many times before if she were actually in the middle of a catastrophe. What would she hear? The howling of the wind, the roaring of explosions, the shrieking of the panicked crowd? Turns out, it is none of those. It is the sound of walls and metal structures being squashed as flat as an empty can, one after the other. It is a sound that instills extreme terror in oh so fragile humans who begin to worry their organs, bones, and blood vessels will suffer a similar fate. The turbulent sky licks against the edge of the plate, tearing sets that once starred in classic movies to shreds with the wind before flinging them out into the wasteland. Houghton moves aside the scaffolding that has fallen on her, but finds her legs too weak to muster the strength to move. He looks at the devastation in the daze, barely able to believe her eyes. They got hit fast. Oh my god. How did we already get so close to the catastrophe?
Mission
I
accomplished.
hope Houghton makes it through this.
There is one more thing, though. Logistics gave me far too much tea and cake. Would everyone like to help me lighten the load?
The lady's permission. Eyes down here, Doctor. Cat got your tongue? You can hear my voice now. Long time no see. You can pet me more than last time. I permit it. Wonderful. A badge marked with a paw print. You hung it around Miss Christine's neck, but the next day it was back on your desk. Dang.
Have you been doing
We
well
hated
lately,
it.
Doctor? I was absent from Kazimierz for too long. It's as if I'm all too used to life at Rhodes Island now.
What is she
Whenever a
again?
knight of kindred spirit wished to travel
A
with me,
primal
I
caster, I
cast my
believe?
mind back to my days here. That said, processing multitudes of paperwork is more tiring than I remembered. I still have much to learn from you.
Mealtime manners. Attack plus 10%, attacks 2 targets at once, and attacks the additional 15% nervous impairment. Makes sense. Her talent, enemies within attack range take 80% of attack as elemental damage when they trigger paralysis. And then Bacchanalia is her skill 2. Stops attacking, calling a sensory spirit at the target's location. The spirit deals damage as arts damage to all nearby enemies every second. If the target is under the effect of nervous impairment, they are dealt an additional 50%. Attack as elemental damage. The skill 2 needs someone to give her nervous impairment, right? So. They don't have the name of the cat listed for the voice acting. Oh, they don't have voice acting for the lines at all. But she does have. I thought they had a whole thing where they're like, yeah, we got a real cat to like make the meows. Ian is bugged. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Yeah. It's fine enough in this office, but it's not much of a dalliance if we're stuck with work for days on end, you know. Unless, say, you'd let me lap at your emotions a bit. What a freak. I hear you calling to me. I'm just not obliged to heed. Oh, don't startle the little pink ones. I worked ever so hard to train them as cushions. They were cajoling me into lava surfing before that. So uncouth. You might as well subject me to rap or put me in one of those smoking mechs. She trained Dolly's sheep to be cushions, huh? Listen to that. The little operators are rehearsing. I met Lucian when he was around their age, so vexed by all the emotions he had to portray. Such a tasty little snack. I chose him. He sates my appetite. He's been fun to spend time with. Odd. When did he grow so big? All the places to run into this menagerie. Mine? Don't lump me in with those debased loats, Zaro. Stay. You there, little silver wolf? Are you their pack leader? Make Zaro shush. And by the way, you have special permission to scratch my chin. He's very haughty. Yawn watching battle records. Let me see, are you in trouble of some sort? Be good, stay put. Any moods out there to pique my interest? Let emotion engulf this place. I'm here, in the shadows. Petting a cat on the battlefield, that'll be the one petting voucher. The lady looks around, elegantly swishing her two tails. The lady stretches out, seemingly very at ease. Emotion-deprived puppets, bland little spirits. Despair, excitement, yearning, the emotions here are delectable. What other naughty emotions could there be? Wow. Flavors fit for a gastronomy. Thank you for entertaining me. Fine snack, I'm satisfied. When's the next? Oh my, there goes the afternoon tea. Stay on my tail, Doctor. Don't let emotions whirl suck you in. Do I get a room? Insolence. But the trust is a bird. Arknights. I smell a note of delight, Doctor. Great. Well, that's where we'll end. Why does that chat keep refreshing? What's up with that? Keeps. Don't know. I'll have to look into that. Anyway. So I was wrong. I said earlier, before realizing she was the murderer, I said earlier Molly has a final girl energy, but I mean, in a sense, I guess she is final girl if she's the murderer, but not quite accurate. we'll be back to finish this off Monday. This was a shorter one. That's for sure. Just barely made it to the end of the regular stream time. Yeah, and only 2 stages left, really. But I won't complain. It's a nice change of pace after the masses travels. We'll be back then, so thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.